to the Week 3 Built Ford Tough Player of the Week show, honoring the best and brightest student athletes from across the state of Texas. I'm Greg Tepper. That's Ashley Pickle. And Ashley, the Week 3 awardees feel like they have outdone themselves this week.
We call them Built Ford Tough for a reason, and this group looks incredible. We start off with our 6A Built Ford Tough Player of the Week here in Week 3, and we head out west to El Paso. El Paso Franklin running back Ernie Powers was absolutely incredible, going for 43 carries for 365 yards and 6 touchdowns. Greg Tepper.
Yeah, in a win over Lubbock Monterey, 49-42, absolutely unstoppable. He's already got 1,000 yards in 3 games. 15 touchdowns. The Navy commit has been absolutely on fire in leading Franklin to a 2-1 mark on the year, and quite frankly unstoppable. This is a great year for talent in the El Paso area, and Ernie Powers is at or near the top of that list of stars out there. This is a guy that, even though you know what's coming, you know you can't stop him, and that's, I think, what really sets him apart. Ernie Powers has certainly been absolutely outstanding, and part of his reward this week was he got to catch up with our Mallory Hartley.
Well, let's look at your stat line from last week. You had 43 carries for 365 yards and 6 touchdowns, which is impressive. But you've had 15 total touchdowns through 3 games this season. Who do you credit that performance to? Your consistent performance of being outstanding week after week.
Just my O-line and coaching for sure. My O-line is very dominant and helps me a lot, opening the holes and letting me run. And then the coach, obviously setting up good plays and running a lot of good plays for us.
Tell me a little bit about that chemistry with your offensive line. You know that chemistry's got to be strong between the offensive line and their running backs.
My chemistry is great. Our right tackle, center, right guard, and left guard, I hang out with them every weekend. I've been friends with them for 4 years, best friends with them.
That's awesome. And finally, Ernie, how important is it for you to set an example when it comes to leading your team deep into the season?
I mean, it's just like setting it for the young, showing that like El Paso could also compete against other teams around in Texas.
Well, Ernie, thanks so much for the time. Congratulations again, and good luck moving forward.
Thank you.
Awesome. Good stuff, y'all. So our Ford Player of the Year show, or Ford Player of the Week, show is going to air tomorrow night at 10:30 p.m. You can find it on Victory Plus, our YouTube channel, Twitter, Facebook. From a coach's perspective, unfortunately, Ernie had that injury his sophomore season, but he's been able to grow through that and become the athlete that he is today. I mean, 15 touchdowns through 3 games on the season so far. That's incredible. Tell me a little bit about that journey and how you've watched him grow as a coach.
I mean, I think anytime a kid suffers a broken leg, especially at his position, you've got to wonder, how are they going to bounce back? What's their mental state? But I think since that injury, and you look at his junior year last year and what he was able to do, I think it just speaks to his will and his confidence in himself and the support that he has at home from his family. But when you're around him and you see his work ethic in the weight room, out there on the track, and the conditioning that he's in, it's really amazing and remarkable. And I think that's what really sets him apart is all the things he does to not only prepare his body, but his mind as he approaches the game and approaches every practice.
And then finally, what kind of example do you hope this sets for the rest of your squad moving into the rest of the season?
Well, I think he set the bar high for sure. Not just for this season, but for the running backs that will come after him. But he leads by example, and so I think when you have one of your best players, if not your best player, really setting the tone for the week and for practice, and just doing all the little things right on and off the field, it's real easy to point to that guy, and everybody kind of falls in line. And so moving forward, we expect Ernie to continue to be himself and to lead this team as a captain. But, Franklin, we've had our share of 4 tough players, and he's the next one. And he's the first one that wasn't a quarterback. So we're really proud of that and excited about that. But I think, like you said, the 15 touchdowns, and he's had a few called back unjustly. We continue to see that moving forward with him as the season continues.
Well, Coach, appreciate the time. Congratulations and good luck the rest of the season.
Thank you very much.
And congratulations once again to Ernie Powers, our Built for Tough Player of the Week in Class 6A. On to Class 5A, where what a performance from Bastrop quarterback Weston Nielsen, who put together an stat line for the ages in their win over Prestonwood Christian, the number 1 ranked private school team in the state. Get this, 550 passing yards and 7 touchdowns, a rushing touchdown, and just for fun, Ashley Pickle, he caught a touchdown pass. 9 total touchdowns in their win.
9 total touchdowns is immaculate. I mean, what an incredible game there for the junior quarterback. He really is the catalyst that makes this Bastrop team go. His accuracy is incredible. You'll see right here. Look at his ability to hit people in stride with an incredible long ball. He's averaging 342 yards per game, 12 passing touchdowns in just 3 games. Bastrop is 3-0, and he is a big reason why. Our very own Mallory Hartley caught up with him.
What does winning this achievement mean to you and your career moving forward?
I mean, it means that obviously I have the ability to play at the next level, and I'm just going to take one game at a time and just play my game and be myself because I know I can do it.
And when you're out there on the field, there's generations of kids that are watching you play every single week, looking up to you. What kind of example do you want to set for the younger kids that aspire to play as well and be the athlete like you are?
I mean, just play with, be calm and just play with heart and, trusting your coaches and trusting your players to get the job done. And I just want to be a good role model for the next generation that comes into my spot. And, I'll support them in the future too.
That's a true leader talking right there. Now, finally, I'm a big recruiting nerd, okay? So I can't let you go without asking about your offers. You're nearing 20, like you said. How many are you up to right now?
I want to say 18.
18 offers. Which of those offers kind of stand out to you so far?
Right now, I got to go with ASU, A&M, Tech, and TCU.
What draws you to the in-state programs like Texas A&M and Texas Tech?
I mean, I like being close to home and close to my family.
We all know what kind of a player that Weston is on the field. Obviously, his stat line from last week and then his plethora of offers to go play at the next level speak to that. Talk to me a little bit about who Weston is off the field and what kind of those traits he brings to the table.
Yeah, Weston's a true student of the game. As a coach, you want kids that truly love the game, that live and breathe it, and that's exactly who he is. This is, outside of family, outside of his faith, this is probably the most important thing in his life. And you see it by the way he works and the way he prepares. Obviously, in the coaching world and in the football world, people understand the pressure of being a quarterback in the state of Texas and just on a football team in general. But they don't necessarily see the hours of work that he puts in behind the scenes and just the way that he studies the game, the way that he's starting to formulate questions and process the game in his mind and on the board before he takes it out to the field is really exciting to see his growth and then being able to see the fruits of that on Friday night. And so, he's a student of the game that truly invests his time into being successful.
And speaking to that growth a little bit, now he's only a junior, so he does have another year to look forward to. Maybe from the starting position as a sophomore to now, where have you seen the most growth in his game?
I think just comprehending what's happening before the snap. Obviously he's got a great skill set. He's got great footwork. He's got really good arm talent. He's gotten better at those things naturally just with offseason and the work that he's put in. But I think just his kind of pre-snap awareness and being able to, take advantage of pre-snap checks and check protections and just kind of truly understand what's happening around him. But then also just kind of in the way that he prepares, right? And understanding that obviously with his offers, not just us in this building, but people across the country are recognizing him as one of the better quarterbacks in the class. But him recognizing that in order to stay in that echelon, in order to stay in that top tier, it's about his work habits and his preparation habits. And so, taking Friday night reps at practice and understanding that every rep matters. If you want Friday to be slow, then you got to make Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday really fast. And so it slows down for you on Friday night. And so he's just kind of seeing his growth in that realm. It just kind of goes to the eliteness of player that he is.
And then finally, what kind of example do you hope this sets for your team moving forward? I know you guys obviously have high aspirations for this year. What kind of example do you hope this sets for the rest of your squad?
Yeah, I think just an example of like you get what you work for, right? This was a really cool honor, not just for Weston, but to be honest, for our entire program, right? And just kind of looking at the growth since we've been here and since Weston's kind of taken over as the trigger man in our program. But just kind of the recognition that we're getting and it helps to have some really good players that kind of bring the spotlight on us, and then winning also always helps. And so a lot of people are talking about Bastrop, and I know some coaches like that, some coaches don't like that, but ultimately what I think it does is when eyes are on you, it creates accountability, right? And we have to be accountable to being the successful elite team that we want to be. And so these type of awards are awesome for the recognition for our kids, for our program, for our community, seeing people in the community wanting more and more gear to wear because they're starting to be really excited to bear the B, and wear it around town and wear it around Greater Central Texas and be like, oh man, we're from Bastrop, and have you seen what we're doing? And that's really exciting to see, and there's a lot of momentum. And so yeah, I think ultimately just kind of continuing to double down on that, but also not lose sight that that doesn't happen if we don't have a good Monday practice. That doesn't happen if we don't have a great Tuesday practice, a clean Wednesday practice, and then go play our brand of football on Friday of clean, crisp, and violent.
I love it. Well, Coach, appreciate the time. Congratulations again, and good luck down the road.
Awesome. Thank you.
Weston Nielsen, our Built for Tough Player of the Week in Class 5A. We are just getting the party started here on the Week 3 Built for Tough Player of the Week show, but a reminder, you can play a part in this show. Go to FordPlayerOfTheWeek.com/nominate to nominate your gridiron hero for excellence on and off the field. This is the award to honor the best and brightest in Texas high school football, and we're waiting to hear from you. Go to FordPlayerOfTheWeek.com/nominate. We will see you for the 4A and 3A Players of the Week after the break.
For 48 straight years, Ford F-Series have been the best-selling trucks in America. We got here by engineering breakthrough technology, redefining Built Ford Tough, and never settling for second best. But what's really made Ford F-Series the #1 selling trucks in America is you. Ford F-Series, Built Ford Tough.
And we welcome you back in to the Week 3 Built Ford Tough Player of the Week show as we crown our Built Ford Tough players. And we head to 4A, where you meet up with Gerald senior running back Kenneth Johnson. In their win over Caldwell, Greg Tepper, he went for 391 yards on the ground on 11 carries and racked up 5 different touchdowns.
Yeah, I don't mean to be an alarmist, but 35.5 yards per carry seems good. Tied a school record with 5 touchdowns. He broke the school record for those 391 yards. He was part of a 740-yard rushing attack for this Gerald team, which stands at 3-0, entering a big showdown with the Llano Yellow Jackets this week. Kenneth caught up with our Mallory Hartley.
All right, Coach, you mentioned that last Friday night was a night that you'll never forget. Kenneth broke a record, and he also tied a school record as well. Talk to me a little bit about that feeling and how proud you were of Kenneth after Friday night.
Yeah, as a coach, anytime you make history and your kids are part of it, it's pretty special. He'll cement his name in the record books here. And so when you're part of that, it doesn't matter if you're assistant coach, head coach, or announcer or trainer, we're all involved. And so just proud of his efforts and proud of him being able to do something that hadn't been done in a long time.
What does the Built Ford Tough 4A Player of the Week award say about Kenneth as a person, not just an athlete?
Yeah, I think the Built Ford Tough Player of the Week is an elite award across the state that puts you in the atmosphere of some of the best, because there's a lot of great performances around the state. And so to be able to put yourself in a position to be recognized with those kiddos, you must also be making good decisions and working hard in practice, because those don't happen if you don't work hard. Those don't happen if you don't take care of your business in the classroom. And so just shows you can put it all together and you can be successful if you put your mind to it.
And then finally, What example do you hope this sets for the rest of your team? You know how big of an honor this is. You know, what do you hope that the rest of your kids take away from this award?
I hope they take away that he couldn't have done it by himself. I hope they take away that the accolades that anyone gets, it's all of us, and everyone has to do their part, and everyone has to be a great teammate. Everyone has to be on time on Monday morning. Everyone has to be on time Wednesday, and you got to win each day in order to be successful on Friday. It's not just show up and go perform and think great things are going to happen. I think they all can share that bond of knowing that, we had somebody do something really special, but they all played their part in that as well.
Kenneth, tell me how you found out that you were being nominated and you actually won the Built Ford Tough 4A Player of the Week award.
So it was actually, I think yesterday, my coach had brought me down and recorded a little video about it. He surprised me with it. So I was I was pretty happy when I was notified that I won the.
Were you surprised at all? I know you had a fantastic performance on Friday night, but were you surprised? Were you shocked? What was that initial reaction?
I was definitely shocked about it. It's something that I wanted. So me putting in the work for it and coming to practice every day, being a hard worker, I know that also played a good part in it. So.
Well, you broke a school record with rushing for 391 yards, and you tied a school record going for 5 touchdowns. Walk me through your performance from Friday night and what that feeling was like when you found out that you broke that school record and you made history.
Well, during Friday nights, it's really just a flow state for me. I'm not really thinking about what I'm doing on the field or how many yards I have or whatever. I'm just trying to help the team win. So whatever I can do to help the guys win, I'll do it. So.
And then finally, what is that mindset moving forward? You know, you won this award and you broke a record. So what's the mindset moving forward into the rest of the season?
I would have to say practice even harder. Try to break it again.
Congratulations once again, Kenneth Johnson, our Built Ford Tough Player of the Week in Class 4A. What about Class 3A? That is where you will find another spectacular quarterback. This one, Jet Taylor from Grand Saline, who was absolutely remarkable in their win over Emory Reigns. He carried the ball for 311 yards and 4 touchdowns on just 16 carries, large bills only. He threw for 82 yards and a score. And by the way, because this is 3A, he plays both ways. He has 6 tackles and an interception return for a touchdown.
Greg Tepper, you don't have to convince me how much 3A football rocks. I love players that are capable of playing 2 ways, and it's not often you see a quarterback do that in particular, but it doesn't matter. When he gets his hands on the football on either side of the ball, good things usually happen for those Indians. You got to remember, this is a guy who went for over 3,400 yards of offense and 45 touchdowns a year ago. He is well on his track to beating that this year, and I know that Coach is one happy fella about that. He caught up with our Mallory Hartley.
I want to congratulate Jet Taylor being named the 3A Texas High School Ford Tough Player of the Week. Okay, here we go. Everybody.
Did you think you were in trouble at first when he started making that speech, or?
Not really. I mean, anytime someone calls me out or something, I'm thinking of something I might have done wrong, but I couldn't think of anything, so I thought I was good.
You were like, nah, I can't think of anything. I think this is a good thing. Well, your stat line last week was, off the charts. You contributed in such a big way. What went into your performance this week? And maybe talk to me a little bit about your team's performance as a whole after that win.
I think a big thing was watching film, preparing for that game. That helped a lot. And I think a lot of our line and everyone, they were really prepared for what the game plan was and what they set us up to do and put us in the right spots. And the line obviously gave me a lot of opportunities to go score and to get a lot of yards. So that helped a lot.
And you're going to be joining the Naval Academy next season.
Yes,
you're
ma'am.
going to be playing football there. What ultimately went into that decision to go play football at the next level of the Navy?
It was a really long decision and went on a couple visits to really try to figure out where I want to be at. And I talked with my dad a lot and really just worked through it and figured out that all the benefits that come with it. It's probably and like what the type of offense they run. It fits me the best, and it's just the best opportunity to be able to play.
And then finally, Jet, you're a senior this year, like I'd mentioned, and that comes with a lot of responsibility, especially when it comes to you leading your team to success. How important is it for you to kind of step up into that leadership role and lead your team further into the season?
Listen, I think it's definitely really important. A lot of people are always looking for someone to step up. Like they might not know what to do. They don't know how it's been because this might be their first year playing on varsity or something like that. So they're kind of looking out for like what everyone else is doing, trying to figure it out. So mainly leading by example is the most important thing. You can't really like speak about, giving effort if you're out there just not really trying every rep in practice. You gotta show them how it's done.
Absolutely. Well, Jet, congratulations on this honor and good luck heading into the rest of the season.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Talk to me a little bit about why you think Jet was so deserving of such a big honor like this.
Well, it didn't just start out on Friday night when we played the game. Okay, this young man has worked. His work ethics are unbelievable on wanting to be great in life, not just on the football field. And he does it in the academics. He does it in his everyday work ethic. He does it on the football field every day in practice. And so when he performs like this on a Friday night, it doesn't shock me one bit. He's telling me, man, if I quit missing my reads, I might make All-American or something, because there's some stuff that we left off the board the other night that he could have been better at. And he knows that, and he wants to get that right. And so he's always strived to be as good as he could possibly be.
Where have you seen the biggest growth in his performance? Maybe from the time that he started out on varsity to the athlete that he is this year?
Well, as he got more comfortable with the game, he grew quite a bit. His reads from the quarterback position, we do a lot of stuff, and he checks us and puts our team in a good position all the time to make good plays. And he doesn't just leave us in a bad play. I'm not going to call it right all the time from the sideline. So when he's out there, he's smart enough to know that this isn't going to work. We need to go this direction. And he sees that and he does it. But from the time he started as a sophomore to now, it's his growth, not just his work ethic stuff, but just his growth on the field itself and what he sees when he's looking at a defense has been unbelievable to me, how much he's grown in that aspect of the game. And then defensively, his instinct to go to the ball is unreal. Everybody talks about him offensively all the time, okay? In the 2.5 years that he started for us on the defensive side of the ball, I think he's got 12 interceptions now, and 4 of them have been returned for touchdowns. So that's pretty good too.
What kind of example does this set, Jet winning this award set for the rest of your squad moving into to the season?
Obviously, it's a great statement for our school and our community. It brings recognition to both of those, and kids can see that, hey, this can be done no matter where you're playing at or what. And it's all it takes is a great work ethic and willingness to be coached and a want to be great, and good things can happen for you. And he is a great example of what we want an athlete to be. And I'm talking about all around. I'm not just talking about on the football field. I'm talking about all around. He is a great example of what we want them to be. And it shows every Friday night.
Well, Coach, appreciate the time. Congratulations and good luck moving forward.
You bet. Thank you.
Congratulations again to Jet Taylor, our Built Ford Tough 3A Player of the Week. All right, we're going to take a quick timeout, but don't go anywhere. When we come back, the celebration of the 20th anniversary of the Built Ford Tough Player of the Week show. We have more after the break.
In Texas, high school football is more than a game. It's a legacy. From small towns to powerhouse programs, Friday nights showcase the best talent in the nation. At TexasFootball.com/recruiting, we cover the stars of today and tomorrow with trusted rankings, in-depth analysis, weekly podcasts, and live commitment announcements, because this is where legends begin.
Welcome back to the Built Ford Tough Player of the Week show. I'm Greg Tepper, and of course, we are celebrating the 20th anniversary of the Built Ford Tough Player of the Week by taking a look back at some of the luminaries who have taken home this award in the past. And what about the guy who is presently the quarterback of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers? That's right, Baker Mayfield, the star at Lake Travis High School. He threw for 2,467 yards and 22 touchdowns against just 3 interceptions in leading his Cavaliers to the 2011 state championship there in Class 4A. He followed that up with a Heisman Trophy in 2017 with the Oklahoma Sooners, was the first overall pick in the 2018 NFL draft. And, oh yeah, he's only thrown for 25,000 yards and 176 touchdowns in the NFL as he continues his outstanding career. But it all started with the Built Ford Tough Player of the Week award. We are just getting rolling the Class 2A and private school winners this week, if you stay with us.
For 48 straight years, Ford F-Series have been the best-selling trucks in America. We got here by engineering breakthrough technology, redefining Built Ford Tough, and never settling for second best. But what's really made Ford F-Series the #1 selling trucks in America is you. Ford F-Series, Built Ford Tough.
Welcome back into the Built Ford Tough Player of the Week show here, where we celebrate the Week 3 Built Ford Tough Player of the Week winners, and this takes us down to 2A. We go out east this time, out to Paul Pewitt High School, where the senior linebacker Boone Hodges had one incredible game as they beat Redwater 40-35. Greg Tepper, 22 tackles, 3 tackles for a loss, and 3 sacks. Bad day to be on Redwater.
Now, he was an animal out there in their win over Redwater. This is a team that I think is on the rise there, thanks in large part to the emergence of their defense. But the thing that really stands out to me about Boone Hodges is he's a guy who embodies this award. Excellence on the field, obviously, but off the field. He's a senior captain. He's taking care of his business in the classroom, a 3.9 GPA. And by the way, he's a state bronze medalist in the pole vault. What can't Boone Hodges do? I know one thing he can do. That is chat with Mallory Hartley.
Sitting down here with our Built Ford Tough 2A Player of the Week. It's linebacker Boone Hodges out of Paul Pewitt High School in Omaha, Texas. Boone, walk me through when you found out that you were going to be the Built Ford Tough 2A Player of the Week.
First thing was just like kind of surprised, small school, don't really get too many awards like that where it's just one player. Pretty cool though that you can be at a small school like that and still work and get an awesome award like that out of the whole state of 2A football. Yeah, I was just super excited as soon as I found out.
Obviously, you're a senior this year, and with that comes a lot of responsibility, especially when it comes to leadership. What does it mean to you to be a senior and a leader of this team?
Feels great, I try to think of myself as a leader, and I am a leader, but just sometimes, you just feel like you're part of a team, and like everyone should be at that level of everyone should be a leader, not just a few people.
Talk to me a little bit about some of the things that Boone does behind the scenes that maybe the stats don't show or the fans don't see on the field that make him the athlete that he is.
I think the number one thing is the kind of person he is. He leads his life in a way that is in a leadership type role. He's he is our senior leadership member in the FCA. He leads a life that is correct and positive and a great influence on the people around him. And I think that just bleeds into the things that he does, whether it's school, pole vaulting. He's a bronze medalist at state in pole vaulting, all-district football player. So I think those lifestyles and those traits that he's built in his own personal life just kind of blend into and bleed into anything that he does. Just because those are his personalities. So anything he puts his mind to or works on, you see those things in it.
So when the rest of your team sees this award, what kind of example do you hope this sets for them?
I think it's great for our kids to see that, hey, I can do big things also. And this is an amazing thing for us. I've been close to this award before, but I don't think I've ever coached anyone that's actually got it. So for me, it was pretty cool. I don't have anything to do with the award myself, but I was excited, for our program, for our town, obviously for Boone and his family, because they do things the right way, on and off the field. So for me, it's just super exciting.
And congrats once again to Boone Hodges, the Built Ford Tough Player of the Week in Class 2A. Last but certainly not least, let's go to the private school ranks, where what a performance for Cody Dow, the outstanding quarterback for McKinney Christian. Even though they came up short in their loss to Arlington Grace Prep, he was outrageous. 580 yards and 6 touchdowns passing. Another 3 scores on the ground. 9 total touchdowns, Ashley Pickle.
Oh, Cody Dow must have been real tired after this one. He's out there running like a track star and doing so much. And Coach said he really is. He's plenty capable, and he's been working really hard to read his progressions, spot throws, using touch and dart throws whenever he can. So he's opening that toolbox and saying, how can I continue to grow my game? A type of quarterback that any coach would want. He caught up with our Mallory Hartley.
Cody, thanks for joining us today.
Yes, ma'am.
Tell me what your initial reaction was.
So Coach Woodset kind of walked into our Devo room in the locker room, and we were just like sitting there, and he kept like looking at me funny, and I thought I was going to be in trouble. And he got everyone really quiet, and he said it, and I was just in shock. I didn't even know I was nominated, and so I'm just blessed and glad I got the opportunity.
And you had a 9 touchdown game. What fueled that fire?
Our starting running back actually got injured right before the game, and so we went in with a game plan of we're just going to sling the rock around and try and have fun. And I think our O-line held up really well. Wide receivers went out and ran really well, and it just kind of worked together. The game plan that we'd practiced throughout the week, we just executed really well.
And you're a senior this year. Talk to me a little bit about the importance of kind of stepping up into that leadership role. You're the quarterback, you're the leader of this team, and now you're a senior. You have a lot of these responsibilities on your shoulders. Talk to me a little bit about your leadership responsibilities and leading this team to success.
Yes, ma'am. Well, we only have 3 seniors on the team this year. Last year we only had 1, and so it's a really young team. And so I think I stepped up a little bit last year and started to realize like I'm going to have to be like a leader for the young guys, bringing it up. And this year I kind of just try to keep filling that role. We have a lot of young kids who are like making an impact on our team, and I'm just excited that I get to be around them and get to impact them hopefully in a positive way.
Well, Cody, congratulations and good luck moving forward.
Thank you. Yes, ma'am.
I'm curious to know, what kind of example does this set for the rest of your team moving forward? Obviously, you guys have high aspirations this year. Talk to me a little bit about what kind of example Cody is for the rest of your squad.
Yeah, for sure. I have a lot of high expectations for Cody. I coach him hard. He'll tell you, he'll be the first one to tell you, I don't let him get away with anything. So part of that leadership on the field is he's going to lead by example. His body language has to be great every day. I'm going to point out every little thing, because he has a high ceiling. He has a really high ceiling, and I want to make sure that he reaches it as much as possible while he's here with us. And so team-wide, that's contagious. That's contagious team-wide. And the more focused and attention to detail that he is, that just really filters throughout the rest of the team. We had a really young group last year. I think we were 14 years, 10 months on average. We had 3 kids with a driver's license when the season started. We're still young. And so, his example is extremely important. And what he leaves is extremely important as well. But going forward, I think, we only completed 60%. We had some drops, we had some throwaways, so it wasn't perfect, but he was doing a lot of little things that we've really been working on. And that's spot throwing. That's throwing with finesse. That's throwing the catchable ball, not always making the perfect pass isn't always the most catchable ball. So he showed a lot of improvement in that area this last week, and our receivers really stepped up and made some plays as well. So I think going forward, we have a new standard. We really have a new standard. This is what the offense is supposed to look like. This is what it should look like. We know we're capable.
Well, Coach, congratulations again. Thanks for the time, and good luck the rest of the season.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
For the last time, we welcome you back into the Built Ford Tough Player of the Week show. We've now announced all of our winners for Week 3. Let's take a look at the Built Ford Tough games to watch heading into Week 4. Greg Tepper, what catches your eye here?
Yeah, this is a loaded slate in Week 4. Yules Trinity and South Lake Carroll is a massive game with tons of star power. Angelo Renda, Brock Boyd for South Lake Carroll, J.T. Harris, the running back for Yules Trinity. A&M Consolidated and College Station, a massive rivalry game down there in the Brazos Valley. College Station desperately looking to get back on the good foot. Kilgore and Pleasant Grove, one of the best games in East Texas. Keep an eye on Kason Brooks, the outstanding quarterback for Kilgore. Grandview and Malakoff, a weird rivalry that is kind of taking on new life here in what should be a really fun matchup. Hawley and Dillon out there in the big country will be a lot of fun in the private school ranks. Fort Worth All Saints and Episcopal School of Dallas. A lot of star power out there in the state of Texas, and that's what we're here to do, is to spotlight the best and brightest in Texas high school football on the Built Ford Tough Player of the Week show. That's going to do it for us. Thanks for spending part of your day with us. For our producer, Blaine Tatum and Ashley Pickle, I'm Greg Tepper. We will see you next week on the Built Ford Tough Player of the Week show.